Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's T Reaper, and I'm back with another video. Okay, well, I am in the middle of doing my Crackdown 3 journey, so I am going to take a step back into reality, and we're gonna have a little educational speech today. When I first started this channel, I believe this was the first video I did, and this is about the online ecosystem on systems. Parents, I am talking to you. Please listen. Even if you do not agree with me, please listen, because this is very important. And it's actually kind of funny for everybody who follows me. This is a funny story because you're going to find this amusing. So, I work with a mother of 3, and all her children are all ponies. Okay? And her son plays Fortnite. He basically won a Fortnite match, and then the other 2 that he was playing against, that he kicked their ass, got all sensitive and started harassing him and started making fun of him, and now the kid doesn't want to go back to school. Alright. Now, parents, this is kind of what I was talking about like a while ago, but you kind of don't wish to listen, which is fine, but it's fine. And now it's hilarious because now the mother is going batshit. She wants to basically beat the living shit out of any person that tries to touch the child. But this is kind of the funny thing, because it's, it's online gaming, people. That's what happens. That's what's been happening since it's existed. Like, was really big in the 1990s, don't get me wrong, but in the early 2000s were awesome. But, this keeps going over and over and over. Excuse me. So the problem is that, when people go online, they basically think they can basically portray whoever they want and basically get away with whatever they want and talk however they want. So parents who let their wonderful children play online games, even if the child is below the age, or even if the game is rated E. That's what the beautiful thing about online gaming is, people. It doesn't have a rating because it ranges from all different material. And 1 minute you could be talking about bunnies and rabbits, and the next thing you could be talking about a really highly, adult education like suicide in like 2 seconds. So, children shouldn't really be introduced to real online gaming until with mics. I wouldn't really care if your child plays without a mic. That doesn't really bother me. But when they're educated enough to understand messages and text their friends back and forth, especially if they use Facebook, it gets kind of out of control and very, very, let's just say, extreme. So, parents, if you don't want your child getting, harassed at school by another person who, suddenly can't can't take an L and basically can't, bear that he sucks in Fortnite, I would say please don't let your child play online with other people, Keep them, solidified to single player experiences. Or, I don't know, don't, be educated enough to understand that child needs to be, how do we say, emotionally advanced to deal with online gaming. Yeah. I love the people that I've met through Xbox Live, through the years of playing Xbox Live from the very beginning to now. I have met so many people. I've gone through many tags too, but I've met awesome personalities, some of which stick to me to this very day. But I remember I've met some characters too. I met a girl who was 12 years old but had the emotional mentality of a 30-year-old. It was actually kind of creepy, and it was actually kind of awesome. And over time, I just got used to it. It was just kind of weird, but I was just like, you know what? Parents don't want to pay attention to her, or she has a really rough life. Cool. She plays awesome at gaming, not a problem. But you meet those characters online, or you get that lobby where it legitly turns into a roasting fest. That happens, and I personally think children should not be exposed to that type of environment until they're old enough to understand the emotional impact that it has on oneself. Yeah, don't do that. Let the kid play a Switch, or let the have better parental controls around what you're doing. So here's an example. If the kid wants to play Fortnite with his friends, then just make sure it's just with his friends, and make sure that all his friends are basically approved by you. So like if you want, if your kid wants to play online with somebody, make sure that you approve who they're talking to. Xbox Live has something like that too, and it was developed over the years, and was actually kind of a cool family control tool. It's kind of nice. So now on Xbox Live, if you meet those real gated players, the ones that have the ones that have mics but are gated by who they can talk to, it has to be approved for their vocals to work. That's actually kind of cool, because that basically allows the parent to say, yes, I can talk to this person, can talk to this person can talk to that person, that person can talk to this person. On PlayStation, they don't necessarily have that, so it kind of sucks for all the wonderful PlayStation families who get into these issues, because on Xbox Live you can control who your kids talk to. On PlayStation you kind of can't, unless you just block them. But over time, the online ecosystem has become more advanced. More communities have been developed. More friendships have been formed. More relationships have been formed. More more experiences have been gained. But the troll, you try to make it harder for trolls, but in all reality, a troll is just somebody with an extreme opinion. If you don't like it, don't listen to them. Nothing's stopping you from actually not listening to them. It's your curiosity that wishes to listen to that person. So, but it's just over time, I think parents just have forgotten, online harassment is actually a thing too, and online gaming, trolls everywhere. Sometimes be careful what you play and let your kids be exposed to. And once you let your kid enter that mature, content, reality, the opportunity just goes straight out the window. And yeah. So, but I just got a message for ponies everywhere. Please, everybody that I'm friends with and I follow, don't take this personally. This is just a very, very observation. What kind of ponies now get upset that they get their ass kicked in Fortnite, people? I want answers. I want that's a direct question, guys. Please answer the question. What kind of ponies get butthurt that a 13-year-old kicks their ass in Fortnite? That's kind of funny. And then starts basically trying to convert the kid not to go back to school anymore. I mean, are you really that shallow? I'm sorry, that's actually kind of funny. That is actually very amusing. But at the same time, I can't say it's much better than what was a big craze back in my day. Those stories were awesome. RuneScape was a big one. I remember, it's like anytime you met minors on RuneScape, you were like, oh damn, I can't believe a little kid beat me in that. And they were all like, yeah. Mario Kart, that was always the Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. That was those were the two big ones back in my day, when a little kid would kick your ass in the Mario Kart or the Super Smash fighting game, and you were the elder. It was kind of pathetic, and it was actually kind of funny. So I guess Fortnite is the new craze now. I guess that's what the new trigger is. Someone can't stand that someone beats them better than Fortnite. Okay. Alright. To that person that gets triggered, though, I say this. I would like to see you actually try to play an actual competent, thing to get mad at, rather than, just a freestyle BR personally. But that's just, that's just me. So, if you get mad that a 13-year-old beat you in Fortnite, how mad would you get if someone beat you in Counter-Strike? That's kind of what I would. That's what I would actually ask all the, awesome gamers who watch this channel. Just think about that, guys. So, if someone gets mad that a 13-year-old beats them in Fortnite, how mad would they get if someone beats them in an actual competent game? Yeah, okay, that would be kind of funny. But last but not least, parents, just remember what you expose your kids to, and, impacts, their ongoing lives for many, 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 many generations and decades further to go. So, once you let the kid be exposed to that mature content, you gotta stick with it, because this is kind of what I see with parents in, in the modern age that we now live in, because I work with a lot of them. And I hear these stories all the time, and these stories are kind of funny. And I hear these stories from multiple different sources, so it's also kind of amusing. But the ones that I hear are always, the kids are like running wild, and they can't put down Fortnite, and they're always on their PlayStation. And okay, that's not, that's innocent, but like, why do we have why do we have issues on a child's game? Like, why are you getting upset? Question being, it could be the influencer, sure. It could be what your kids watch and what they're exposed to and what they like to play. So maybe gaming isn't the only thing that you have to be concerned with what triggers these. Maybe you have to be concerned with what type of content and media that you let them watch. Or maybe you have to put a media restriction on their phones. Ever think about that? Might be an obvious choice. But, once you let the child get exposed to that media, then they want more of it. Then the more they want to be exposed to it. And then with gaming, I always say, I don't really care if you let your kids be exposed to, rated M, mature content at an early age, just as long as they're, mature enough inside to handle it. If they're not mature enough to handle it, or they don't know how to fight, a basic bully, it's kind of sad. But, that's kind of the thing that you got to consider. So if you want to let your kid play Call of Duty at the time that they can walk, I don't have really an issue with it, as long as they're competent enough to basically deal with people who can, basically tell them, basically the worst of the worst. And I've seen, gamers like that all over the place. I've seen them all over the place. I've seen, little kids that, can hold their own in parties. It's actually kind of creepy and very impressive. So I do know these entities do exist, and that they, parents, have made it worked, because, these kids are impervious and they have a really good, childhood. But, they're not every child. So, please pay attention to what you expose your child to. And if you're okay with the outcome, then more power to you. But, most of these parents are getting upset, and they're getting triggered over these video game online materials that they expose their own children to. And to parents, I'd be like, well, that's your own personal problem, and you expose that child to that, so that is your responsibility. Therefore, it's not the child's fault, so the child should not be blamed. It should be the parent that is controlling it. But that's the lesson for the day. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the week. I'll be back sooner rather than later with my crackdown impressions, my full impressions. I'm just slowly trying to having fun. Loving the memes on Twitter, everybody, though. It's awesome. This is Reaper, and I'm out. Laters.